water, black water, fuel, fresh water, etc. This is the amount of fuel we burnt yesterday, 14 tons of fuel in one day. Both engines full steam ahead. We had calm waters on the Drake, and he put the pedal to the metal and got us there. These are all the various tanks, and the way this works, it's like a grid system. Between 59 and 71, you'll find tank 51. What did I say, 59 and 71? So you want to hear, there's 50, there's 60, so 59 and 71. So that tank is located right there. And this is a cross-reference of coordinates. 170 people we can have total on this ship at any one time.
We got on board the ship here on King George Island in Maxwell Bay at Frey Station. And we pulled out, the first thing we did was drive right by a giant iceberg parked up off the shelf there. And you might not know this, but the South Shetland Islands are migrating away from the rest of the Antarctic Peninsula. And you can see on this map here, that's an underwater volcano, active volcano that iceberg is sitting right on top of. That's kind of cool, huh? All right, so then we came down overnight, and just off of Trinity Island, right about here, we woke up in the morning, and we had killer whales before breakfast. The morning announcement was preempted with killer whales, and I had to wake you guys up early. That was pretty special. We don't get killer whales on every trip even, so to start the trip off with a bang like that, we knew it was going to be a special one. There we go. All right. Then we sailed on down. Thank you, Doris. Then we sailed on down to Orne Harbor for our first excursion. We got all those mandatory things out of the way that day. And Orne Harbor is the inside here. We hiked up on the outside to look down into Orne Harbor and over the Gerlache Strait. And when this guy was there near the shore to meet us, a little gentoo penguin. And when we hiked up the hill, we got to see these chinstrap penguins. So we got 2 species of penguin out of the way in the first few minutes on shore. And this was a continental landing, the mountains in the background. We saw every single mountain on this trip. If you had a mountain in mind you wanted to see, this was the trip to see it on. These beautiful views down over the Aurora. Some folks went out Zodiac cruising, and we had a lot of whales there as well. That night we said, well, we got this short window to try to go camping, and the weather was right, so we did it. We went down here, we went out and around and into Paradise Harbor into Leith Cove, where we went camping. Here's our happy campers unloading with their gear. An amazing sunset was going on out there behind the ship as we were getting set up. And this is what you guys look like from the ship. That's your campsite with that giant glacier behind those tiny little figures in Leith Cove. I'm sure you guys heard those glaciers cracking and booming all night long. We picked you guys up at 6 o'clock in the morning or so. We came out across the Gerlache Strait and through the Newmeyer Channel down to Dorian Bay. And here's Mount Francais, the tallest mountain in the Gerlache Strait area. We got to see every single bit of it. We hiked around on shore with some of that watermelon algae, and there were gentoo penguins there with their chicks. Some of you guys got to go inside and check out the old way station that was there for the planes that used to land up on the airstrip. And then in the afternoon, we moved the ship around and went to Port Lockroy, just right around the corner there. At Port Lockroy, we had Bransfield House where we got to go inside and do some shopping. Mail some postcards at the Penguin Post Office. Mount Luigi there, and the Seven Sisters were all out in their glory on Winky Island. Over here is Jugla Point, where we got to see that whale skeleton. And a few lucky folks, the kayakers especially, got to see this young Antarctic shag getting ragdolled by a leopard seal. That evening, we kind of hung out there and took a bunch of photos. I wondered in the back of my mind if that's when we should have had the barbecue. But it worked out. We went down to the Lemaire Channel down there, and here's what that looked like that morning. Just an absolutely beautiful, stunning day. Again, every single mountain was out. It looked tight here at the end. I didn't know if we were going to get past this iceberg, but we just barely squeaked by there. The captain did not blink an eye. And then you can see Peterman Island coming into view off the bow there. That was our destination for our morning excursion. And at the very end, he kind of even tilts the ship so we can see into Port Circumcision. Right there, right building. And then we went to shore at Peterman Island that morning, and we were hoping to see some Adelie penguins there. And that's Peterman Island, so we had come down through the Lemaire Channel. You see how narrow it gets where that iceberg was stuck in there to Peterman Island. There was a memorial cross for those guys that never returned to Faraday Base after setting out across the ice. And what do you know, we did find Adelie penguins. Lots of molting Adelie penguins there. Sam led a great hike across to the other side to get these beautiful views of Panola Strait, named after John Rymill's ship from the British Graham Expedition, named after his hometown back home, right? And we kept on going that afternoon down to Winter Island, the north base of the British Graham Expedition. Oops, I wrote south base there. That's north base. We visited Wordie House on the site of the former base that was later washed off by a tsunami. Jonathan gave us a tour inside of there. We got up on top of the little hill and got these amazing views where we could again see all of Mount Francais and 360 degrees around. Some folks went for a Zodiac cruise and got to look at some really cool icebergs. There were seals to be seen, all sorts of fun stuff. And then as we left, the sunset was just incredible as we sailed away to start getting out and around to head south. Some fun light on the icebergs and things. All right, so then we started to think, what's going to happen when we get to Marguerite Bay? We've got to get down here, out and around. And you can see we tried to poke our nose into this area to go to Tai Island, but there was just too much ice. Green means not much, yellow is moderate, red is very prohibitively too much, and the dark gray, that's fast ice, fastened to the shore. So we were not going to be able to take the shortcut through the gullet. We knew we had to come all the way out and around Adelaide Island. So that kind of cost us some time. It allowed us to do some educational programming and set ourselves up for 2 great days in Marguerite Bay. So we started off at Red Rock Ridge, the farthest south this ship has ever been. And Marguerite Bay had a low layer of clouds, but it was nice and calm. It was absolutely stunning. There was a good bit of ice we had to get through, but it didn't keep us from making landfall on Red Rock Ridge, the site that was kind of the beacon home for the British Graham Expedition there at the south base. We had lots of Adelie penguins, these south polar skuas, and found this really cool treasure trove in the old sledging box, maybe dating back to the 60s or so. That afternoon, we repositioned the ship to go check out South Base at San Martin Station, and our Argentine friends were overjoyed to finally see some other people. I thought that their home was one of the most beautiful homes I've ever seen, right next to that glacier. You gotta think though, if you come back in another 100 years, they might be under that glacier. That glacier's been advancing and covering up some of those islands. You know, all these cool toys laying around. Their old food boxes. They gave us that fun tour around the station. And there was even a chance to buy some interesting souvenirs. We got the Rymills together, and they got to do some photo opportunities there, where their forefather, I guess you would say, set the whole thing in motion for this trip to happen. A really special moment there. Then we came back on board. You guys thought I was crazy, but there were crazier people than me, obviously. And we had our barbecue on the ship with all of our Argentine friends from San Martin Station. And it turned out to be one of the most fun things anybody's ever done. That was a really fun night. The next morning, we had 2 excursions left in Marguerite Bay. So we went up to Horseshoe Island. And just incredible geology there. You know, we'd seen plenty of holes in icebergs that reminded us of Superman's lair, and here I think we found the source of the kryptonite. Lots of old human history there at the old base site. And we're allowed to free roam, so we just all got to get these amazing views. We had a Weddell seal on shore. There was some fun discussion about what were those fur seals doing with each other and whether it had anything to do with what we would have been doing with each other. And here you go, like I couldn't even, the light was really cool, but I just couldn't capture it. You know, we talk about that a lot. You just can't capture it in the picture sometimes. The picture will never tell that story. That afternoon, we went up to Bongrain Point on Porquapaw Island for what turned out to be just yet another jaw-dropping excursion with this amazing glacier coming down. And once we got on shore, we were able to look back and see all of Adelaide Island that afternoon. More Adelie penguins, some of these not molting. And then Ian led a nice hike up onto the lateral moraine so you guys could stand up close and feel the power of that glacier in front of you. So then after Marguerite Bay, we had to sail all the way up and around Adelaide Island again and make loads and loads of miles to get back into the Gerlach Strait so we could go looking for some whales. And while it was sunny again, we got so much wind in Wilhelmina Bay. We brought the ship in, we saw lots of whales. The whales were there, but the wind was there too. So we came around the corner through Plata Passage here and up to Enterprise Island, where we did find some shelter and were able to get off the ship and go for a Zodiac cruise. There's the wind just pouring down. It looks like an ice cap, but that's wind-driven snow pouring down off of the mountain. Probably my favorite picture I took on the whole trip. The mood was just incredible looking at those mountains there. On the Zodiac cruise, we found this old shipwreck, the Gouverneur, an old whaling ship, whaling factory ship. There were some other old relics around, water boats, and plenty of wildlife too. Fur seals, chinstrap penguins. A few folks, I think, managed to chase some whales down in the pack ice out there. And then we repositioned for the afternoon. We were hoping to come into Charlotte Bay for another Zodiac cruise, but there was a lot of wind, again, coming off this mountain. So we tucked the ship up in here towards Grand Passage, and we did our Zodiac cruise through Grand Passage. Some of us managed to find some whales over here in Hughes Bay after we made that long run through that beautiful narrow passage. Penguins porpoising through the water. Just yet another beautiful sunny day to be out playing around in boats. Then we got all the way up to the South Shetlands for our last day on shore together at Hannah Point on Livingston Island there. Lots of hiking. We were able to get over and check out the fossils on the other end. More chinstrap penguins, and if you looked really close, there was that one macaroni penguin in there. So we had another species that we don't often get on our trips down here. And of course the elephant seals. They were really cool to watch, sparring and doing their thing there. That afternoon we brought the ship back down to Deception Island, sailed the ship into the caldera of that volcano there. And once we got through Neptune's Bellows, we just took a hard right turn here into Whalers Bay. We had some fur seals there to greet us and all this old whaling history, along with the British Antarctic Survey and Sir Hubert Wilkins. Some of you hikers made it all the way up to the nipple in record time. He looked really cool and small coming back down the ash layers and the snow. And for those that went up to Neptune's window, there were lots of seals. This one's, he's all pallid. He's ready to ship off to any location around the world, I think. And then the polar plunge. I mean, look at this handsome gentleman with God rays of light shining down upon him, the beach steaming before him. And just as a final image of how we conquered this trip, I'll leave you with this one here.